are now tuning into The Vibe with your boys podcast. Starring Kyle the Kid and Mega the Boy. You dig?
If you haven't noticed already, we got Mark with us. How's it going, my boy?
What's up? Chilling, man. I'm good. Blessed and highly favored, y'all boys.
How's your 2022 been going so far, man?
It's been a learning experience or whatever. 2022 is, I've learned a lot this year. I learned a lot about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot about, like, just taking care of business, handling business, like taking care of family, making sure friends are okay, all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just really learning about myself. I feel like it's been a personal growth journey so far in 2022. Okay. And so far I'm embracing it, everything that comes with it, the highs, the lows, the ups and downs, and just making the most of it.
Embracing the change.
Exactly, embracing the change.
For sure. Now, for those who may not know Mark, he's very into the market, trading, things of that nature. And I would say maybe about 2-3 weeks ago, he hit me up. He's like, yo, I want to come on the podcast because, you know, things are about to get ugly out here and people may not be aware.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like that idea because I've always wanted to have this type of conversation on the platform. So before we get into like what exactly is going on, tell the people like what exactly you do as far as trading and everything like that.
So what I do is my specialty. I specialize in trading stock options or whatever. So you're basically just like buying something low and selling it high or whatever. Like somebody buys it from you. So like for instance, like this phone could be like a option contract. This phone could be worth like $100, right? And then let's say like Apple has some good news that comes out or whatever, and then the value of this phone goes from like $100 to like a band or something like that, right? So then like I would have $900 profit or whatever, and then somebody would buy, you know, this phone from me that I got for $100 that's now worth a band. Somebody would buy it from me and I would sell it to them, and then I would profit $900 or whatever. So that's basically like, to keep things simple, that's what like trading options is. Like you're buying like a contract, which is basically like 100 shares of a stock. And not the right to, like, you don't actually own the shares, but you have the right to own it if you decide to exercise the option, which a lot of people don't do. They just trade it for like a profit or whatever.
Trade it for profit. And
that's basically what I do. Like, I mean, like, I just like look at charts. I learned how to read like charts, technical analysis. I learned how to like, you know, read the news and like, you know, stuff about the economy, fundamentals, and like, and it helps. So like,
so how long have you like been doing this? Like, when did you get into it?
I like a majority of the people that's trading right now, like during the pandemic.
So that's when you started?
Yeah, like September 2020. So it's been like about 2 years now.
Okay.
That I've been doing it. Yeah.
And what made you want to get into it? Whether just you saw an opportunity or a friend, or like what was going on?
Yeah. So shout out to Low Capital. Low.
For sure.
That's my dog since high school. One day I saw him like post a screenshot on Twitter where he made like $1,200 in like one day or something like that. I think he like was trading Tesla or something like that. And I DM'd him like, yo, like, how the fuck did you do this? Like you made $1,200 in a day or whatever? And then he's like, yeah, or whatever. And then he sent me like the link or whatever to his little course he had. And I was supporting it, and I bought it or whatever. And it was, you know, just showing me the basics, the fundamentals. And I just always been like interested in the stock market though. Ever since I was younger, I just didn't know how it worked. Like it's intimidating if you like you don't know what's going on and stuff like that. It's easy to like be afraid of it, but the information is honestly it's all out there or whatever. Like if you really want to learn it, like I said, I tell everybody like, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
For sure.
That's how I got started.
For sure. So basically, you just saw Lo doing what he was doing and you wanted to get into it. How was the learning experience for you, like getting into it? Like, was it something that you caught on? Because it's only been 2 years, and from what I see, like you've caught on to it reading your own charts,
Yeah.
being calling your own plays. So
Yeah.
how was that experience learning it?
To be honest, in the beginning, I had beginner's luck or whatever.
Mhm.
I think like I took like my first week trading, like I took like $200 and I made like a band in a week or whatever. So I got like $1,200.
Feeling good.
Feeling good, like not knowing shit though. I'm like, oh, this shit easy. I don't know how niggas do this 9 to 5 shit. I'm about to quit next week. But yeah, I didn't know that much coming in, and like the next week, I think I lost all of that or whatever. Like I lost the band that I made, not knowing, because I think it was a pullback in the market. The market was running so hot that week. The next week it needed to cool off, and I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, you know about the cool off period.
Exactly. I'm thinking this shit just go up forever or whatever. So, but learning like after that though, after I took that loss though, it just made me want to like learn like what the hell happened, like what did I do wrong that made me take that type of loss or whatever. And I just really just put my heads in the books and YouTubing and Googling everything that I could, and Low and them boys that's running it, shout out to Ben and Mannon. They saw I was really passionate and I wanted to learn. So they took me under their wing or whatever. They took me under their wing and they gave me like a breakdown, like, all right, this is what happened, this is what you did wrong, this is what you need to study. And then after that, like, I just took it upon myself to like, to really learn this shit or whatever. So just like dedicating like hours a day to like reading charts, learning how to read charts, like reading books on like chart patterns, like, watching YouTube tutorials and shit like that. And it paid off. It paid off.
For sure. Now I kind of want to switch gears into basically around the time you started with the market to now, which is why you're here to talk about what's going on.
Yeah.
COVID year, when the pandemic hit, and definitely going towards the end of the year when we've already been in the pandemic for quite some time. Where would you say the market was? Because people were making a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the different COVID stocks and the COVID, I guess, companies that were benefiting, like Zoom and just stocks that people were using while staying home.
Yeah,
basically. So, what would you describe the market at that time?
I could put in like, let's say like you're playing like 2K or Madden or something like that. Like it was on rookie, like it was easy basically. Like then like the government was giving us stimulus or whatever, and like basically like with COVID, like everybody was stuck at home, couldn't nobody work, spend money. So basically what that happening, like the economy, like it could have like crashed or whatever. So what the government did is they kept on giving us stimulus and pumping a whole bunch of money into the economy. To keep it going, even though people like stuck at home and stuff like that, which was good because it saved the economy, or whatever. Like people was making a whole bunch of money, like like putting money into stocks and stuff like that, because the government was just buying stocks like crazy, like which was pushing the market up. Because what happened during COVID is the market crashed, it recovered from the crash, and then it went to all-time highs. Which doesn't never historically looking back never happens. Like that's like once in a lifetime opportunity. So people that knew that, people that were trading before the pandemic knew what was going on. So they was able to like put their money into that. Rich people put their money into that. So like the rich got a whole lot richer during COVID. So that's what happened. Like basically the government just stimulated the hell out of the economy or whatever. Like basically like just gave the economy steroids. They gave it a steroid shot, and then that shit just shot up or whatever. And now what happened as a byproduct of that, we got like hella inflation, which was the byproduct of just stimulating the economy like so crazy.
The stimulus checks and everything that was going out, all the funding. I've heard, I looked into it, like, all this money that we're printing, eventually is going to come and, prices are going to raise everywhere with inflation. Now, that was done during the Trump administration, of course, being that it's a pandemic, he had to.
Yeah.
And now, 2022, we're in the Biden administration. Everybody's, blaming him. I guess you could say. But in reality, that's something that kind of started before him.
Yeah,
right?
He inherited that problem.
He inherited. Now, I just seen something earlier today to where like I think we just approved another $12 billion to send to Ukraine.
Insane.
All that affects inflation, or like could you kind of expound on that?
Yeah. So with inflation, right? Basically, it's caused by like just a whole bunch of like spending, right?
Yeah.
Like so, basically, what happened when they gave us all the stimulus checks and stuff like that, like people like buying stuff online, doing a whole bunch of online shopping, all that type of stuff. And then like once the stimulus ended, instead of like people cutting back on their spending habits, they switched over to their credit cards to like try to keep up with the spending and stuff like that, which wasn't a good idea, which made things a little worse. But like to answer your question, with the whole inflation thing and stuff like that, like now we're at a point where like we got to get it under control, or like shit is going to get worse. Like now it's getting worse because like the Federal Reserve, the central bank, was a little too late. Like trying to get a hold of inflation. They said it was transitory, it would go away and stuff like that. Like don't worry about it. But it got worse. They got it wrong or whatever. And so like now, we got to try to like figure out a way to like, get it back down. And what they're trying to do now is like raise interest rates or whatever to like discourage people from like swiping their credit cards or like buying houses or getting cars and stuff like that. Because if people just like, if you get used to the inflation and just keep on spending money or whatever, even though like it's going up, eventually like it's going to stick around longer. It's going to get harder to get rid of. So right now the Federal Reserve is just upping the interest rates, trying to discourage people from spending, like, swapping your credit cards. So actually
people spending, because some would say the fact that people are spending is a good sign for the market. Actually, at this time with inflation the way it is, they're trying to discourage people from spending.
Yeah, you don't want to spend. Like, and the thing with inflation too, like us sending $12 billion to Ukraine, like government spending is gonna add on to inflation too. Like the whole student loan forgiveness thing it sounds good on paper, but like that money like that you're forgiving, like it has like you can't just like erase it
because it was something that was expected.
Exactly. Like it came from somewhere. Like that money that was borrowed, like to go to college and all that, pay for classes and all that, it came from somewhere. It didn't come out of thin air. So like you just saying like, all right, we're going to cancel student loan debt or whatever. That's $400 billion right there or whatever. Like somebody going to have to pick up that tab. Like whether it be like us getting higher taxes in the future or like our kids getting higher taxes and stuff like that. Like that money still has to be paid back. So like with the whole Ukraine thing of sending us like $12 billion over there, like, yeah, like we might not feel it now, but a couple years from now, like, you know what I mean? Like we still going to be paying for that or whatever. Like Ukraine is supposed to pay it back, but let's say worst case scenario, them boys lose the war or whatever, we don't get that money back.
All that money they getting, they should go ahead and start sweeping shit.
They sweeping shit now, but that boy Putin, that boy is not a joke. That boy know what he doing. But, I mean, I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that I mean we figure this out before things get really, really bad.
Can you blame him for sending like that money over there? Like, cause America has these things of like helping the allies or standing up for people, you know, who can't really stand up for themselves. So it's like one of those things of like, more than likely just about any administration would have did it in a way. So is that something that we should have like indictment, like, damn, why y'all doing this? Or
like, it wasn't a bad idea. It was the right thing to do, but the timing was just terrible.
Yeah, for the country.
Yeah, the timing was just terrible. It could have been worse timing for anybody to start a war or whatever. So it's like, yeah, like America likes to be the big brother of other countries and lead by example and stuff like that. Because there's other countries sending money too, not just America. But like the timing is bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like spending billions of dollars, like when we have our own shit fucked up, in America, it's not a good look. And like the longer this war like goes on and the more money we send, the more people here are going to start complaining. Like, damn, like, all right, we sent like 50 billion over there, but like we still got like potholes and Lauderhill or like
Yeah.
on Oakland, or 441 still not done, and shit like that. And like people are gonna start complaining the longer like it draws on, and like the more like we involve ourselves into it. Like, I mean, people are gonna start complaining more, but hopefully, like, I mean, we have a resolution soon.
Gotcha. Now, for somebody watching and they're like, what is Mark talking about? Gas prices are going down.
Yeah.
Because, they were high as hell just a few weeks ago, a few months ago, to where they're now, trending downwards.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an indication of what's to come. So tell me what you think we're facing.
So, like, the whole thing with gas prices, like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know, like, earlier in the year, like, gas was, like, around, like, almost $5 a gallon and stuff like that for just regular. And so what Biden did, we have something called the Strategic Fuel Reserve, which is basically where we, like, keep a whole bunch of, like, backup gas in case of, like, an emergency, like we go to war or a badass hurricane or something like that, earthquake. Saying what we, like, we have, like, backup gas we could get to. But, like, Biden used it to like bring like gas prices down because we got midterm elections coming up, and like
to make his party
exactly like you don't want to have the Democrats looking bad. Like you're telling people to vote Democrat, but gas like $7 a gallon. You can be like, get the fuck out of here! I ain't voting for y'all, whatever. So it's like they did that, but like the thing with that is we're using so much backup gas. We've used so much to now like that like backup reserves are like all the way back to the lowest levels since like 1984. So like that much, like we're using that much.
Because you always hear that like America has a lot of oil, we just choose to use other countries' oil. So it's already depleted that much, even though we barely ever use our own.
Yeah, so this is gas that we've been trying to save up since like 1984, and we got it to a point where like we were good, but like now like the economy is open back up. Like I said, the war just came at a terrible time. Like the economy opened back up, and Russia shutting down oil that went from like Russia to like Germany, France, all these other countries or whatever. They're gonna need gas too eventually. And like come winter time, where like it's not enough gas to go around Europe or whatever, they don't have enough gas. Like they're gonna look to us to help out with gas, but we barely have enough or whatever to like keep our own shit going. So like winter it's gonna be tough. Like like around winter time, everybody uses like more gas, more electricity, more energy, or whatever. Like we got to heat up our houses and stuff like that. But like in Europe, like winter gets terrible. Like where shit could get like sub-zero in some parts of Europe. And if you ain't got enough gas to like heat up your house, cook, get around or whatever, like like shit it's gonna be bad. Like people can die or whatever from starvation, from like freezing to death, that type of stuff. So like now, like they're trying to figure out ways to like, come up like replace that gas, but right now, like it's not that easy. And like after midterms, like, because ironically after midterms is when they're supposed to stop using the backup gas and like refill it. But like now when you want to refill it, it's gonna be less oil around. So like now, like the demand is like gonna be more, but the supply not that much, and it's gonna drive oil prices up. So like I wouldn't be surprised if gas prices start going back up during winter time.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, off the aspect, and this is something I asked you before as well. There's usually around holiday time, the market, kind of strengthens a bit, because people are spending and all this anticipation. You said we shouldn't expect that this time around. And is that because what you just explained?
Yeah. So like now, like come like, cause like we usually have like Black Fridays, they do pretty well and stuff like that. But like even a lot of companies kind of see what's kind of coming. Like Walmart, they usually hire like 150,000 like extra employees around like the holiday season when it gets busy. Now this year, instead of 150,000, they're only hiring 40,000 or whatever. So like you see like a lot of businesses cutting back like on expenses anywhere they can or whatever. And a lot of companies that's ordering like electronics and TVs and stuff like that for Black Friday, they're already telling like a lot of manufacturers like, yo, like we cutting back on our orders, like we're not ordering a lot like that, because like now, like since like the demand was so high because people were like buying, with all them stimulus checks, a lot of companies stopped the same thing too. Like, oh, all right, everybody got money. Like, let's just keep on ordering stuff. You know, they're flying off the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
But now, like, a lot of people, like, you know, spending less, and like with inflation, like the dollar, like the amount of money you have in your pocket isn't as worth much as it used to be. Like $90, well, $100 now is like worth like $91 or $90. So like the money now, it doesn't have that much value because of inflation. Mm-hmm. So like now this holiday season, like how we used to like have like Black Fridays, like it's still gonna be a Black Friday. Don't get me wrong, but like the spending, like I'm pretty
it's not
sure,
gonna do for the market what it once usually does.
Yeah, exactly. Like what it used to do for the economy, like you know what I mean, like Walmart or like Best Buy used to be like, oh, we broke a Black Friday record. Like people spent this much. Like people are gonna spend, but I don't think it's gonna be like any record breaking spending that people are used to, or companies are used to.
Got you. Now you mentioned like companies, especially around this time, they're not hiring as much as they usually do. Mm-hmm. Like you mentioned Walmart, and so with this whole, I guess you could say, because would you say we're in a recession right now?
Yes, we are currently in a recession. Like a recession,
even though they're not calling it that.
Exactly.
You like say we're in a recession right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like a recession is defined by like 2 like quarters of like negative GDP growth, and like we have that so far in like the United States, where Q1 was negative, Q2 was negative. That right there in itself is defined as a recession. Mm-hmm. But as soon as that happened, as soon as the data information came out, the White House was like, nah, like they tried to change the definition of a recession. Mm-hmm. Like, no, it's not that. Like, you know what I mean? Like it can be, but we're not, this and that. Like basically, like I said, like midterms are coming up, so they don't want like they want to smooth things over. Nobody wants to like vote for a party during a recession or whatever. So like now, like you know what I mean, like they're trying to hide it, but now it's getting harder to hide or whatever, because like companies are gonna start laying people off or whatever, because I mean not a lot of people are spending, not a lot of money are coming in. You can't keep up with like you know what I mean, like economy that was stimulated for so long. Now like a lot of companies are seeing the difference, like damn, these niggas not spending like how they used to, like yo, what's going on, and this and that. And so like you can see it. Like I work at Whole Foods, well like tomorrow's my last day, it's my birthday or whatever.
Sorry,
my last
boys.
Day. But
you gotta do it to you. You gotta do it to y'all.
But just even working there, like I would see like a lot of like prices of stuff are going up or whatever, and I would notice that a lot of shoppers, like they used to get like the bigger carts and like fill them up, and now they're getting like the smaller carts and shopping.
Oh, so you seen it like like,
firsthand experience.
Money not the same. Like
money is not the same. The people I used to see come in spending
loading up.
Yes, $300 on groceries are now spending like 100, like 70 or whatever, like just trying to make it to like the next week or whatever. So it's just like, damn, like that's that right crazy. There, like I saw it firsthand. Like yo, like shit is getting bad. Like it's not looking too good.
So I guess you could say in the last major recession that we had around 2008, that time period, people were losing jobs. Of course, everything with the market was bad. Going into this recession that we're in now, and you're saying that it'll get worse, are you predicting, or are you thinking that the loss of jobs will once again be affected, or is it just the prices of everything will go up because companies, I guess you could say even maybe now are still trying to get people to go back to work and offering all these incentives? Are you saying that soon it will be the opposite, or it will be a little different this time?
It depends on where you work at, or like what sector you're in. Like construction workers, like there's always going to be construction that needs to be done, so they're going to have jobs. Like the labor market, you're going to need that. You're going to need workers or whatever. But like jobs like bankers or like I don't know, like flight attendants, stuff like that. Like jobs that like, you know what I mean, that they can do a little bit without. Well, maybe not flight attendants, but like other like white collar jobs like bankers, executives, that type of stuff. A lot of people are going to start using their jobs or whatever, because like right now, like Biden likes to say, like this administration likes to say like, oh, like we building back America better is like what Biden ran on or whatever. And like you have all these like jobs, and they like to talk about how unemployment is low, but when the unemployment like rate is like under like 5%, when it's too low, I mean, like a recession can happen or whatever, or like anytime inflation is over 5%, like historically, like a recession has come. So like right now, inflation is at like 8.3% or whatever. That's way over 5%, and the Federal Reserve wants to bring down to 2%. So like the only thing that can really fix that is a recession. And when a recession happens, people lose jobs. So you know what I mean, they fall back on bills, fall behind on bills. I mean, they default on their mortgages. Like you know what I mean, they can't keep up with their house payments, car payments, repos go up, all that type of stuff. And like you know what I mean, like you know what I mean, the housing market crash and all that type of stuff. And that low key what needs to happen, like in order for things to go back to normal. So it's like, I would love to be wrong. I would love to like sit here.
I would love for you
tell
to be
everybody
wrong too.
that everything's gonna be okay or whatever. But like in all honesty, like the best advice I could give people right now is like, all right, make a budget or whatever. Come up with like a spending plan. Like, don't.
So at this point, as you're going over your advice, it's still ways to cushion some of the impact. Make a budget. What else?
Like, the government, the Federal Reserve already said, like, yo, it's going to be pain. Like, a lot of people don't, like, pay attention to, like, the Federal Reserve and what they say, but they control, like, all the, like, policies when it comes to, like, money and banks and stuff in the U.S. And they already told people, like, yo, it's going to be pain. Like, it's going to hurt. Like, people that are low income, middle class, like, y'all going to feel it or whatever. Like, they give a heads up or whatever. So, like, I always try to tell people, like, all right, you want to save money. Like, you know what I mean? Right now is not the time to, like, try to keep up with the Joneses or whatever. Right now is not the time to, like, know what I mean, like, if you have like a band, you don't want to go buy like Louis V sneakers or whatever.
Put it up.
Exactly, you want to put it up. Like, you want to try to save money or whatever, because like when it gets bad, and it will, like, I mean, like them shoes or them bags that's sitting in the closet, like it's not gonna be worth it. Yeah, it's not gonna help you or whatever.
So lastly, before we end off, you talked about, of course, where it's heading. When do you see it reversing and getting better? Talking about next year summer, next year a full 365 from now, like 2023 around this time. Like, how long are you foreseeing this?
So based off what the Federal Reserve said at the last meeting, like they're gonna keep on like putting up interest rates, like hiking interest rates until inflation comes down. So they're basically like, they're going to keep on putting these interest rates up until something breaks or whatever.
Okay.
So like, we don't know how long that's going to be. Like, only they know. Like, they already said now, like 2023, if you think like, you know what I mean, things are going to get 2023, if things are going to get better, it's not. They already said that. Like, it's not going to be like, you know what I mean, a quick fix or whatever. Like, inflation and all of that, like, it took its time to like finally like creep into the economy and like make things like go up and stuff like that. But like now, like it's gonna be even harder to fix. So it's gonna take time to fix. And like I said, like maybe if we're lucky, like maybe like beginning of 2024, like once they see like, all right, damage has been done or whatever, like people have heard it enough, damage has been done. All right, let's pivot. Let's like now like try to like be like, okay, like we're gonna stop hiking interest rates or whatever. And then eventually, like if they see more progress being done with the economy and stuff like that, they'll be like, all right, now we're gonna start lowering interest rates. And once interest rates start being lowered, like that's when like you see a reversal. That's when you see like the stock market start to go back up. You'll see like, you know what I mean, like jobs will look better and all that type of stuff. You'll see like houses become more affordable, or rent will be like down. Or whatever, like food prices, everything will be like
that's when rent will go down when the interest rates go down.
Yeah. Okay. So like, in order to know that though, like you gotta pay attention. Like a lot of people don't pay attention to like the economic news and like what the Federal Reserve is saying at these type of meetings. But I know it's boring. Like I tell anybody that wants to get into trading or learn the economy, like the shit is boring as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you and say like it's fun, but it's one of those things, once you learn, like it's a skill that like will help you throughout life.
To
like,
take you,
yeah, exactly. It's something that you can't unlearn or whatever. Like it's something that once you learn, you could pass that knowledge down to like your friends, your family, or whatever. I got my boy J minus Nicole out here with me. when he started learning or whatever, he took his account that had $200 to like 6 bands in less than a year or whatever. Like, but he learned though or whatever. But I just want to encourage people like, yo, like learn what's going on in the economy in the world or whatever, because it's gonna help you, especially with what's coming.
For sure, for sure.
I know you said trading options was your main thing. Did you ever invest in like crypto?
I did. I invested in crypto, but I sold everything, to be honest with you. Like Dogecoin, like I was early as fucking Dogecoin.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I ain't gonna lie. MPP.
Yeah.
TG put me on like early.
Like we got to Dogecoin like under a penny. People was getting in with like a quarter, all of that stuff like that.
I was looking like 9-10 cents. So y'all late.
Yeah, late.
Like,
so like I think with like Dogecoin, that was like my biggest crypto win. I think I turned like $100 into like 1,500 or whatever in like a couple of weeks or whatever. And then after that, I got out. But like with crypto, like crypto is tricky right now because with crypto, like crypto kind of follows the stock market. Yeah. And crypto, like it has a lot to do with what's going on. Like when interest rates goes up, crypto goes down as well too. Okay. Like people used to think that, all right, crypto is like the end all be all. If like something happens to the dollar, like we just gonna be rich off crypto. But in all actuality, like the government like is never gonna let that happen. Like they're not letting anything replace the dollar right now. Like if they think anything is a threat to the dollar, like crypto,
gonna dead it.
Yeah, they're gonna end it. So like right now where crypto is headed, I think crypto could go like a whole lot lower. Like Bitcoin was like 68,000, something like that.
Now it's like 18.
Yeah, it's like 18, 20, like on life support kind of right now. And so like what's gonna happen, same thing, like it kind of, you know, falls into line with what happens in Europe. Like Europeans, they love crypto. But like if your energy bill, but crypto, like it takes a lot of energy. So like back then, like around this time last year, like in the UK, like your energy bill was like $250. Like now, like because there's less gas and stuff like that going on, like now your energy bill is like $2,500.
Got you.
Or whatever. And the inflation over there is worse than it is over here. So a lot of people are gonna be like, dang, why am I holding Bitcoin or crypto when I gotta pay for food or whatever? Like I gotta try to pay for gas. Like if it costs me like $30 for like a dozen eggs, like what is crypto really gonna do for me? So a lot of people might sell to like just to survive or whatever. So like that might cause a chain reaction in crypto where like, I mean, it sounded good, like the metaverse, NFTs. Yeah, it sounded good when nothing was. It sounded sweet when nothing in the world was going on. But now it's like everybody getting that reality check. Like, yo, like I need my money or whatever. Like now, like it's gonna be a time where like I can't afford to like, you know what I mean, like crypto, like take my money and lose money in crypto when I need it to like actually survive.
Got you.
So.
All right, and before we end off, let everybody know where they could follow you at if they want to learn trading, and if you know, have any guidance to give them, let them know what they could do as well.
You can follow me on IG at mark.j. You can follow me on Twitter at mark_K. Mark with the _K. MPPTG. You can follow us on
for sure.
On Twitter and IG as well. That's No Poor Performance Trading Group. And yeah, you can follow us there. Like, know what I mean, like come learn the fundamentals. Know what I mean, like, I mean, it's a beautiful thing. I can't sit here and lie to you and say like it hasn't changed my life, because it has. Like a couple of years ago, like I didn't know what I would do. Like, you know what I mean, I didn't really know what was next for me. And trading kind of opened the door where like, all right, like I could kind of replace the income from my job, from my 9 to 5, and kind of focus on things like, you know, outside of my 9 to 5, things I'm passionate about, like learning how to code, technology, like cybersecurity, that type of stuff. But like without trading, like I wouldn't be able to take that leap of faith. Like, you know what I mean? That's how like a lot of people get stuck at like, you know what I mean, 9 to 5 jobs or whatever, because you're so dependent on that money you get from your 9 to 5 that you don't want to leave it or whatever. Exactly.